I mean, being so experienced, he just has insane intuition to the game. Makes everyone just like very at ease that they don't have to think as much because, you know, someone's going to do the thinking for us. We just have to press our buttons.
Yeah, it's kind of like our duo. I got somebody to do the thinking for me. It's great. Yeah. Happy to see that the players also have a similar synergy. You know?
There's more brain in that bald head than you give yourself credit for. Come on.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Tell my mom that. Anyway, we're into game number 4, pick and ban, or at least preparing for it. Happy to hear Shogo talking about Dardoch. The relationship between those two has been so fun to follow ever since last year as well, when they were able, or rather Shogo was able to lift that trophy. He was the main character in that series, right? We can all look back on that and say he was the big carry for the team. This time around, it feels like he's advanced his arc now, where he's almost playing second fiddle to Dardoch, who's going in as the main carry.
I mean, Dardoch was still coming to his lane every single time. So
well,
that is kind of nice. But I think Dardoch has been really big in the 2 victories that UST has picked up in this series. And hey, the one game that Maryville were able to take, it was really OddOrange being able to play around his winning lanes. I think was the winning formula for MU in that game too. Last time around, I remember like talking to Maryville, you know, in the scrim bullpen before this all started. They're like, yeah, UST, they're going to pick their champs, going to scale, they're going to try and team fight. We feel like we can beat them early. That was the game plan they had in game 2. And I want to see if they return to that in game 4 as they try and push this 1-5.
This last time around, I mean, we kept talking about it during that last game. RobbyBob was a big difference.
Yeah.
Getting that shove in the mid wave. I expect something along that style yet again from UST to say, let's try and just brute force our way in through the bot lane, get Shogo ahead. That was both of their wins, is playing through that bot lane off of these mid lane roams. Now, the question, of course, being, how prepared is Maryville for that? Because I don't think that there are any slouches in their own right. I do still have faith in ScaryJerry being able to absorb a lot of those ganks as we saw in that game number 2. So I want to see Maryville actually play a little bit more towards him. So far, they've been picking things for Getback that are, you know, maybe less impactful, or at least the Cassiopeia was less impactful getting on the map.
I'm actually really curious to see. So on the blue side openings we've had for Maryville, it has been first pick jungle, and then it's been responded with the Gragas Wukong for UST. Now, those 2 champs are really good into Jace. Maryville coming into this tournament, we felt like had the 2 best Jace players, and we're a great Jace team in this tournament. I'm curious if in this last game, if they decide to say, you know what, screw it, we're going to play Jace. We don't care if it's bad in the Gragas Wukong. That snap engage can be tricky for a Jace to deal with.
It's up right now.
Yeah, it has been up this entire time, but actually UST going to switch things up a little bit. They're going to give away that Xayah Rakan for the side of MU. And I think MU locks it in immediately. They got to take Xayah or Rakan here.
Yeah, I have only seen it banned 1 time so far. You have it up right now. Or it can be a flex pick. Okay, baiting us a little bit here. I would have been excited to see it, but maybe they go for something for ScaryJerry instead, taking away what Shogo just played, and also giving ScaryJerry a very defensive AD carry pick.
Xayah Rakan was the bot lane that MU won their first 2 games against Winthrop on, but actually that will be denied, so UST is still paying respect to this duo, denying it from Maryville again in this one. So they're going to take the Wukong with the Rakan. They have a chance to take AD on 3 or maybe an Annie. If Maryville go for Sejuani, this tells me it's going to be aggressive melee solo lanes for both Getback and Niles. I don't mind this pick into Wukong. OddOrange played it earlier in the tournament, going up against Winthrop as well. That will be the choice. I'm curious now if we get a Nautilus to counter the Rakan, or if we maybe take one of those solo laners now that could be picked up.
I can imagine back to the hover earlier. They could go for the Jace here, but no. Okay, it's the Nautilus locked in, saving their solo laners for their next 2 picks, and they will take the counter into that Rakan. So they have a lot of engaged tools now between Sejuani and Nautilus.
Not gonna be a new unique champion for Shogo. It is in this series, but not in this tournament.
Okay.
Will be the Aphelios.
Were you keeping track of that?
Yeah, I mean, last year he picked 9 unique champs in 9 games on his way to victory. This time around, a little bit different, as he's going to pay a little bit more respect to ScaryJerry. But I do like the Aphelios in this matchup. You can deal with the engage that the Nautilus and the Sejuani have, and also you can space Xayah with the right guns. Try and play around that. Aphelios should have an advantage in this Aphelios Rakan lane.
And finally, UST will take Niles off of the Gnar.
Yeah.
Not giving him that one yet again. Even in that last game, the Gragas was able to absorb it. Still dangerous to give that up for Niles.
Yeah, I was about to say, I want to see a Gragas ban here. I think that given the Sejuani Nautilus, that's a couple low damage, more supported champions that you have. Maryville needs to find some damage on the 4-5 pick. So I think the Gragas ban is good. That will preempt a Jace ban, which again, I think is very good from St. Thomas, as Getback and Niles, in my opinion, were the 2 best Jace players in the entire tournament. UST will actually lose a tank here as the Scion. And that tells me again that Maryville, they're kind of expecting for porsche to take his pick now and maybe save counter for RobbyBob. As again, mid lane prio has been a really big deal in this series.
Have gotten some insider information from the audience as well that there's a chance we've been seeing the Aurelia hovers for a special someone that Shogo has watching at home. So if you're that special someone,
a finished apple?
Shout out to you. Okay.
Oh.
Well, now I'm excited.
A Pantheon. I mean, that is one of the melee solo laners that we were looking at, but that has to be blinded top for Niles.
Yep.
Now, you can stack up that Sejuani passive very quickly if you have that empowered W. So those are 3 auto attacks that come out after you do W someone. So it's the stun into a second stun. Wouldn't be surprised to see a blind Syndra here for Getback. I think it's decently strong into what is showing for UST. You can zone out the Aphelios a little bit and break the engage of both Rakan and Wukong if you have very well-timed scattered.
And it's going to be Viktor locked in for RobbyBob. Happy with this one.
Yeah.
Matchup he should be very comfortable with as he's played through this meta multiple times. The biggest thing about this Pantheon versus Olaf matchup is, yes, the Pantheon can get onto the map. Yes, like you said, that passive stacking with the Sejuani can be very strong in lane. But if the Olaf gets running, there's not a whole lot of Pantheon can do to really answer that.
But Pantheon can set Olaf behind very far early. And this has always been a pick that Niles has played on the ladder. We had Winnie on the analyst desk talking about their best of 5 that he played on AoE against Maryville. The games that Maryville picked up in that series were actually with Niles on the Pantheon countering things like Olaf and Renekton in that series. So to see him return to comfort and have a jungler that can enable him, we had that feature that ran about the duo queues between OddOrange and Niles on the ladder. They're going to need some of that, channel some of that energy in this game 4 if they want to push this one to 5.
And also Pantheon notable for just getting on the map so quickly. Basically have a second teleport built into your kit. And that means that you can help impact other lanes where most top laners would not be able to. As we see the coaches shake hands for what could be the last time. A reminder of what's at stake here. UST, a win right here, right now, will cement themselves as the only program, or one of 2 programs rather, to take back-to-back titles. Maryville, if they can reverse their fortunes, take the series, or at least take this game and go to a game 5 to take the series, they would be the first program ever to win 3.
Shout out to Saskio, by the way, former Maryville alum, who does have 3 titles on his lonesome.
True. He's sitting at home like that's nothing impressive.
I mean, I think it's pretty impressive still. He's terrorizing the ladder with top lane Vayne, which is good for Saskio.
Good for Saskio.
He's a great guy, and one that I know Maryville appreciated having in the building as Maryville. I know Quirky tweeted out before these games, it's always been his goal at Maryville to build a program that has 5 players that embody the values that a team should have. He really feels like this team represents what he wants to have on the stage. I know that behind the scenes, that these guys really have gotten along and melded well together. You're going to need to channel all that energy and more if they want to come back against UST. Push this one to not only to 5, but also to take the series.
Well, let's take a look from one of the current members of Maryville, as OddOrange talked with us just how much they want to bring us to Silver Scrapes and a win for that 3rd title for Maryville.
Well, I want to win a championship, you know? I've been here, this is my 3rd year. You know, I've been here 6 semesters now, and it's like, I'm due for a championship. Like, I want to win a national championship for Maryville. So that's what my eyes are on. That's 1 series left.
Due for that championship. There's a lot of OddOrange fans in the audience right now. His dad even got that ticket to fly out here for this finals. It's going to be 2 more wins that MU need to pick up to get there. How are we feeling about their odds, though? I do love me some Niles Pantheon. It has a very concerning win rate for any opposing teams.
I gotta say, I think a lot is actually gonna fall on Niles because his UTs, you know, the Pantheon with that ultimate, he did take Ignite, so you have to get ahead, but also you have to use that ultimate to make sure that you're making plays where you have a man advantage. Because Porsche didn't go for the flash ghost, he actually went for the TP ghost, so it will enable him to answer whatever plays Pantheon makes later in the game, which could be really important.
Already good start for the bot lane here too. Zyko landing a good dredge line onto Daption. Shoving out the lane as well. This should guarantee that they hit that level 2 first.
Full starts for both of our marksmen here. ScaryJerry answering. And curiously enough, neither mid lane are actually opting for first strike, which you see quite a bit on these champions. Both going for area. I think that really does speak to how important mid lane priority has been in this series for each of our teams. I think each mid laner kind of making an adaptation to recognize that. Sacrificing some of this insane scaling that these champions have for a little bit of power early to make sure their junglers might be able to get a play off or 2.
Tells him that Getback is going to have a different game plan than last time around, where it's basically just catch waves the entire time. Instead, going to try and answer the Viktor, if not just beat the Viktor in that wave shove right now. A little bit behind, as Niles and Porsche trade blows top lane. Niles showing how you can trade with the trade pattern of a Pantheon early on. Junglers pathing to opposite sides of the map as well. Dardoch heading towards that top side, whereas OddOrange heading towards bot.
I think the goal here for the side of Niles is to get that third wave in and then get a base. So try and get some favorable items. I think he's going to need to do that as well, because if he's not careful, Wukong could attack him in the top side. Losing summoner spells is that Pantheon in the lane that you want to have be very aggressive. Not the start that MU wants, as we'll see what Dardoch does after the red buff. He has to sack Krugs and go top now if he doesn't want to get to top lane in time to attack the Pantheon.
And now going for the Krugs instead.
Yep.
So not most likely going to impact this lane. Niles can just shove this wave in and then go for a reset back off of the wave state. But will he? Yep, Niles out of lane into the river. Either goes to the reset or gets some vision
No, he
control.
didn't get it in.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
okay.
gonna make sure that wave gets in. I mean, Porsche is trying to thin it a little bit while Niles is going for that ward, but that is spotted by the side of Dardoch. So you will sack that top crab, which OddOrange actually wrapped around to get, and he should be able to get the bot crab as well.
Ooh,
as he's
RobbyBob
gonna take a
knows
pit
this.
Stop mid. Should be fine.
Okay, yeah, Getback wasn't close enough to follow up with Scatter the Weak. And OddOrange would have had the flash, just get flash out of RobbyBob.
Yeah, I still like that from OddOrange, though, because he actually circled around to make sure that he got the double crab, and with the lead, he was able to secure a full clear very quickly and a double crab in the Sejuani. That's going to feel really nice here for OddOrange on the Sejuani, as using some of that prio that he has to make sure that he gets something. Again, that was the winning formula for MU in Game 2, and OddOrange doing a nice job here early in Game 1, getting something small. 2 crabs, not bad.
And Zyko hitting those double dredge lines onto Daption in lane, helping them get that level advantage, helping get the shove, means that he was able to roam up, guarantee OddOrange gets that second scuttle, even though Dardoch had gotten a back off with that Sheen completed. So Dardoch now back to just farming up. We see OddOrange with the boots and a Ruby Crystal to get on the map a little bit faster. No early action in this game, as the dragon is starting to come onto the map. 15 seconds until that spawns.
I'm still curious to see when OddOrange goes up top to try and attack this Olaf, because doing it pre-6, and once Olaf gets access to Ragnarok, going to be a lot more difficult to try and get up there and actually make a play against him. And got Niles base in there. It looks like he's just like, hey, leave me to my own devices up here. I'm going to be just fine. We expect to see that Pantheon go for Eclipse into the Black Cleaver, where you get a lot of damage. Black Cleaver is so damn efficient on Pantheon. Your ability to apply that so quickly with so many different abilities. Two-item Spike, very deadly. And one that UST will know about is RobbyBob has shown that he can play Pantheon in this tournament.
One of the coolest combos, actually, once you get that Black Cleaver, is you wait till you have only 3 of your stacks towards the passive. W in, then E, block all the damage. That'll stack it, but we actually got the engaged bot lane here. Shogo has to cleanse. There's not flash yet. That's Ignite down on Zyko, and now the engaged mid lane. RobbyBob does flash this time around, as OddOrange has committed to the gank. Getback still has the unleashed power. Can't get RobbyBob low enough to really threaten that.
Really nice flash from RobbyBob. He had the dodge out on that second part of the Sejuani W to make sure that he was able to live. Did so successfully. If that connects, he goes down. But with that chunk, actually, from ScaryJerry and Zyko, we see Daption and Shogo have to get out. So again, OddOrange making really good use of some of the priority he has around in his lanes. That flash being burned mid because RobbyBob got so low. I think that really did help scare off the bot lane of UST. So OddOrange getting multiple advantages for his team across the
Daption's
map.
all alone.
Maybe more.
Yeah, they can just go for the dive. Zyko, 1 auto, will start taking it up. Should trade his life for this, as Daption will get the kill credit.
That's
and
fine.
OddOrange picks one up for himself.
Yeah, that's fine. You get the kill on the Sejuani, get some assist money too.
No.
Lose a wave.
Ideally, ScaryJerry grabbing that, but it's all right. You're still happy with OddOrange picking up, and now we got the Grand Snowball into the mid lane. No flash and RobbyBob that time around.
From the skies and into the ground as Niles Pantheon makes a grand entrance mid as he sends RobbyBob back to the stars. Now Dardoch trying to brawl on this side, but that passive can be proc. Getback's here.
A lot of damage on OddOrange. Getback. Oh, flashes from the Scatter of the Weak. Unleashed power not available. Now Daption logging on OddOrange for a second kill.
Really well played from Dardoch as OddOrange going down might enable UST to take the dragon if they so choose with the man advantage. Pretty much all made off of that flash that Dardoch had. The fact that Daption was getting out off of base. MU not respecting that timer, and UST punish.
Daption's been very active already, getting that second kill now. Should be on the map quickly as Getback. Oh, it was a flash setup.
Love that. I mean, RobbyBob was down flash, so this is free. Really like that from Niles and Getback. Again, these two players, when I sat in scrims, they were the most vocal. Niles dictates a lot of their lane resets and their plays, so love to see the soul laner syncing up for MU as Dardoch. That flash out of the scatter enabled himself to turn this one back around. Really nice play from Daption as Bloodthirsty Support gets that one back for himself. He's got the 2 kills on his wings on this Rakan, and now Dardoch, unfortunately for him, sitting on a ward.
Yeah, spotted by Maryville's bot lane
He
here.
should stop the base. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, he knows.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he definitely
him.
knows.
Realizes what's going on.
That's not a Nico minion. That's a real minion, you know. That's,
True.
yeah.
Nico's actually disabled this event.
Thank God.
That would have been a lot to handle.
I don't have the brain power to count every wave, you know?
Well, luckily for us, usually we can tell ahead of time. OddOrange here on the Herald now for Maryville continuing their early game aggression. This is, again, what we've been talking about all weekend for them. Once they get that lead, they like to continue that snowball, and they will utilize that gold everywhere on the map.
It's just leaning on the strength of the Pantheon and this top side they have, as when RobbyBob's down flash, he really can't contest any of the plays that Maryville can set off. Is now all... Oh! Nice vision toggle
Daption's
there.
able to get out.
Really good, though, for Maryville, because a lot of the times when the answer that Aphelios has when enemy teams go get Rift Herald is to use red-white to take plates for themselves. The fact that Maryville were able to secure that Rift Herald without rotating their bot lane up meant they could stay and make sure there was no answer here for UST. So Maryville just straight up getting wins in the early game, and early on, it's 1.5K gold lead in their pockets.
Dragon's on the table. They haven't looked at it yet. I imagine that they'll wait for Niles to have that ultimate again. You can't always just throw that Pantheon in for the second time. He doesn't have any cooldown reduction, so that is still the full 180-second cooldown of Pantheon ult. Takes a long time for that to impact the map for the second chance, but Getback, silenced, not stunned. RobbyBob throws out the Chaos Storm, does not get too much done for it.
I will say something small that just happened. ScaryJerry's recall was actually canceled in the bot lane.
Ooh.
Oh, hold on.
That's the real Dardoch.
Niles
Yeah, Dardoch made it over the wall with Niles, and now Niles getting punished for that. Tries to trade back onto Dardoch, but with the help of Porsche, just barely gets his jungler out of there.
Really close. Niles, both summoner spells down. I was about to say is that the base of ScaryJerry was actually stopped. That could have opened up UST to look for this dragon. Instead, it's OddOrange.
Oh, Shogo's right there.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Shogo just walks around. They did not spot him. Flash follow. Shogo jumps away. OddOrange still might just be able to lock him down. If Zyko can get the angle to threat the dredge line, that's cleanse use. OddOrange does not have the damage himself.
That still will be the dragon being able to get picked up by MU on the back half of this if they so choose, but instead looks like they're going to play for bot lane plates. I will say I do prefer this on the Xayah. Shogo, curiously enough, actually sticking around. This is kind of greedy on his part.
They have teleport from Porsche.
Zyko has ult.
I imagine Porsche will teleport in to help cover the play. Yep. That's going to be rough for the Olaf, though. Got the wave shoved in, but Niles can now maybe get some plates for himself.
This is a really weird map state now, because Getback, he could have based and TP'd back to try and contest this dragon. Porsche is kind of forced to do something around here or take the walk of shame back to the top side.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
Instead, Porsche, he's going to catch mid. RobbyBob does not have access to his TP yet, so it still is a top lane wave lost, and MU, even just threatening that bot lane play, going to find a little bit of a lead.
Niles is hovering here. Pantheon ultimate, he can join in on this bot play.
Oh, they want it. They're going to look for 5.
Yeah, I mean, you
Niles
might as
wasn't
well.
spotted.
Even with 3 members of UST here, I don't think you can stop this dive. So they just run away. Glacial Prison used. Now the Pantheon's joining in on the fun. Shogo, no flash, no cleanse. Nice from Daption, keeping his carry alive for now. Niles now jumps onto the Rakan instead. As the Shield of Ages trying to keep himself alive, and Shogo turns it around. Picks up the kill and the shutdown onto Niles. RobbyBob has joined in on the fun as well with the teleport use Chaos Storm onto MU. Flash out from ScaryJerry. Dardoch wants even more. Jumps in. Daption, 1 knockup only onto Zyko. Flash from the Nautilus. Zyko's out of there. Getback has a lot of threat range right now, but Dardoch's back up the wall. He flashes. Getback still alive for now. RobbyBob finally claims him. A chaotic skirmish. We got a full 5v5. Rather, 4v5. Porsche was top lane the whole time.
Oh, what's going on? Look at Porsche, man. He's just chilling. He got 3 points to himself. The play for Maryville goes sideways. An even trade, not what MU was looking for, as the TP from RobbyBob ended up being massive for St. Thomas. I mean, the ult goes on to Daption.
This is huge from Daption here.
It was
boom.
I mean, the charm is really big. Niles was never able to get on Shogo, and Niles goes in too deep. Didn't have the support to get back to go back, but the turn from RobbyBob was so big. I mean, look at MU, they're just forced to go back. Daption eating everything, and they threw Nautilus ult and Sejuani ult into Rakan. I feel like if Maryville picks any other target, they actually get something from that. But Daption just ate it all, and there was nothing left in the tank for MU. It's an even trade, and that's huge for St. Thomas, because now Porsche, he's not only in the game, he's actually pretty fed.
Daption absorbed all the cooldowns and still was there to save his carry from Niles. Get you a support like this guy. Shogo's now coming back into lane. OddOrange still hovering around here. And they're not afraid. UST at this point are getting slowly back into this game. They don't have a gold lead yet, but that was a big tempo swing.
Porsche going for the adaptation that one of our great challengers, Olaf players, Feistal likes to go for, which looks to be the Trinity Force on Olaf before the Ravenous Hydra. I must say, I like this one a little bit better. It packs quite a bit of a punch as you get that empowered auto attack whenever you throw the axe. You time it well. And Porsche is going to be, honestly, a menace in this game, because once you get 6 and you're even with the Pantheon, it's really tough for Panth to actually deal with you in a side lane. Olaf can just run straight through you. So Niles is pretty much relegated to now look for map plays. He can't win that 1v1 in the side lane anymore. That's going to really help UST get themselves back in this game.
You got the 3 plates because of that very costly ult from Niles into the bot lane and is right back into parity here as OddOrange might just be caught out right now. He was looking for the flank himself and UST was ready. Catching out the Sejuani as Getback in a 1v1 against RobbyBob right now.
He's stuck.
He's got some backup. RobbyBob is just keeping the Syndra here. Daption can follow up with the W, doesn't even need it. RobbyBob gets another one.
UST has just turned this game around off the back of MU not finding that bot play. Look at the map now. RobbyBob is able to get ahead. Porsche is fine in the side lane as he has the pointed steel caps and nearly has his first mythic. Shogo actually was able to pick up some gold off the back half of these 2 plays as they were winning. And Viktor is so far ahead of the Syndra now. Everything is coming up the side of UST as they're looking to close this out in another 3-1.
It was just a minute ago. I said that they were getting it back in their favor. Well, now they got a 1,500 gold lead, so definitively in control of this game from this point on. Maryville did get the 1 dragon. That's something. As you see the pings around the Herald, it looks like that's where Dardoch is headed next, while OddOrange would have been spotted with Dardoch's back there, so they know that OddOrange isn't on this side of the map yet.
I mean, Dardoch, I think his plan, honestly, like Rift is an option, but I still think it's all about clearing top to bot. Look at the minimap and everything that UST has set up for another play. We got wards everywhere in the bot side jungle. If Dardoch does want to make a play bot, I feel like they're happy to trade out that Rift to try and attack here. But at the moment, it still is Maryville. They at least were able to knock down that turret. I will say, starting Rift here is a bit risky, given that both their bot laners just showed. So I think OddOrange just going to do that to spot Dardoch.
Oh, flash from Niles.
Boy.
They're under RobbyBob.
He's dead.
That's just an assassination. The Pantheon there earlier to the play, but now they're turning on to that Pantheon. Daption joins in for another kill. That's a fed Rakan, baby.
Bloodthirsty, man. 3-1-4. I think Chucky's the support for UST. Last year was just screaming for Daption. Rooting to mod as... Oh, hold on.
Back into the action, though. Dardoch was looking for a little bit more as OddOrange will look to chase him away. Can't chase that far, OddOrange. Porsche is here. No ghost available.
Oh, there's 4.
Has the backup. Get back, ScaryJerry and Zyko are here. They're trying to lock down Dardoch. OddOrange still alive. That's Dardoch down.
Oh,
Porsche in trouble now, too. Yeah,
oh,
he's got no escape path. MU just turning it right back on its head with a double kill to ScaryJerry.
It looked like UST were stuck between 2 plays. Dardoch was reaching for camps, but that was too far as all of MU, keep in mind, they just took that bot lane turret, so they send their bot lane to fight the Rift Herald.
Yep.
UST not really respecting that, as that was the play for Maryville. They get punished, and all of a sudden, this game, put it back and forth in game 4. MU, I still don't favor their comp as time goes on, but it's at least looking better for them now.
They had the lead.
It's some.
They did a little bit of toss-up, you know, a little bit. Just a little baby one. And now they got it back, you know. It's back in the driver's seat for MU. It looked rough for OddOrange at first, but then you look at the rest of the map, you're like, oh, no, he's got the backup.
And they're just stuck between 2 plays. UST, their bot lane, they were trying to hit mid. Maryville, they said, we don't want the wave, we want the kills, right? Take down the top side of UST, and they get that nice and successfully. And now, that's kills over to ScaryJerry. 2-0-2 on this Kraken Slayer Xayah. And, I mean, something we've kind of slept on. Aphelios Viktor can space Xayah, but Xayah is so good into everything else that UST is showing. And with this Kraken Slayer, we'll be ripping through the side, or the front line at least, to St. Thomas. So I think it's really key that Daption is able to find clean engages on the ScaryJerry, who does not have cleanse, does of course have that ultimate, but they need to attack him early in the fight.
And now we see MU hovering around the bottom side. RobbyBob trying to take down a turret as Dardoch will keep him safe. Even Daption dropping some wards. Anytime I see Niles on the map, I'm like, all right, where's this Pantheon gonna drop down? We got Airstrike with a big old spear. Right now he's hovering bot still, but no one else from the team is there, so it would be a one-way ticket. RobbyBob will get a completed turret down here. UST pull the gold lead just barely back in their favor. It is so back and forth.
Looks like Shogo's still rotating out his guns. I think that he's going to try and get blue-purple for these fights. Might be the call for him. Honestly, I don't mind it, given that so many people are going to be jumping into him. Doesn't help space the Xayah, but will help with a lot of the AoE burst and trying to get these snap executions that UST might be looking for at the moment, though. See how dark the map is for the side of Maryville as another turret falls. Porsche does not have access to TP, so I expect the Herald to go down in this wave, and Maryville do pick up this dragon, but UST was able to get some gold back in their pockets.
MU are all about controlling the mid wave right now. Drop the Herald down. Porsche is joining in. MU are already grouped as 5 here, controlling the access point to that dragon that has just spawned. And the Herald will land the charge. So UST do not deny the wave shove, do not deny the Herald.
This is where Getback is really powerful on the Syndra, just being able to mark these angles, and where UST is going to have trouble approaching as it's a little bit late. Daption's already chunked. This dragon's over to MU. Do we have a fight after?
Engage. Zyko dredge lines in. Daption engages on to Getback. Flash away from the Syndra. Still alive, but not for ScaryJerry. MU getting a little shredded right now. Only one member gets out. Teleporting as a flash from OddOrange means that 2 will escape for that dragon. Very costly objective.
Oh, Shogo able to sidestep that one, but ScaryJerry, he didn't burn his summoner spells until after he was found by Daption. That enabled an ult to connect from Shogo, follow up from RobbyBob. That was enough to take him down as MU. They get the objective, but they get wiped in the fight. They're going to lose his mid turret off the back of that too. And look at the gold lead now for UST. It's about to be 3K.
They're pushing Getback away from this mid turret as well. So even though they don't get the dragon, they'll get even more gold into their pocket. 3,000 is the lead.
And keep your eyes on the Daption. He was chunked out early, but once Zyko jumps in, the flash, grand entrance charm into both Getback and ScaryJerry. And ScaryJerry, he didn't burn his sums until afterwards, so he then pops the ult. He then pops the flash, but it's for naught, right? He's taken down by the side of UST and Dardoch. He's got to preemptively ult that, as he was just being walked into with the charm. The fact that that didn't get up in the air before that connected, I think really hurt MU in that fight. The follow-up damage for UST was fantastic.
The pressure is mounting. It's a completely different ball game being up on that stage in a grand finals with the title on the line than it is anywhere else. I think we're starting to see a little bit of those nerves come up here. Some uncharacteristic mistakes on the stage right now, and MU are going to need to find a way to get back into this one. They do still have the dragon stacking. They have that as a potential win con, maybe catching Daption right here, but so hard to get onto the Rakan. He's out of there. 4-1-6, by the way.
A little bloodthirsty here, as Daption doing some good work. I do have to say, I think that the big thing to look out for MU on the way back into this game, it's got to be Getback Syndra. We've been hyping up Getback. Again, the teams in the Scrim bullpen felt like he was the strongest mid laner here.
Yeah.
We had other teams saying that. Getback's been all right this series, but he has to be a big difference maker in this game if he wants to make sure that MU gets to that game 5. These scatters, it's really the only thing that they can use to deal with Aphelios besides creating angles. I think this would be really key for him to just stymie some of these engages from the Wukong, Rakan, and then also fish for that backline UST.
Yeah.
So my eyes are really on Getback to see if he can step up and push Maryville to this game 5, which at this point, looking pretty difficult for them given the scaling of each composition. I really favor UST as this game goes on.
Side lanes are also getting away from MU right now. Niles is quite far behind of Porsche right now.
Yeah.
Didn't even go for the wrap in a second. Goes for the Death's Dance. Hard focus on this 1v1. If the Pantheon walks up to the Olaf, you're just going to get destroyed. You are not tanky enough to absorb this, and you do not do enough damage to answer back.
I do like the Faisal style of build. I'm going to keep on crediting Faisal, as he earned a lot of Olaf bans in that run for Challengers, and hopefully we get to see him again next split. As at the moment, we will see Maryville next split of Challengers, but they want the CLaw Championship. This is what they aim for all year, what they've been scrimming so hard to try and achieve. Now, oh, that's an ult coming into Dardoch. He's in trouble.
I mean, they're just trying to lock him down right now. Has the second Cyclone. What's up with ScaryJerry and Getback, though? They absorb the counter engage. Porsche, how much do you want this? You're kind of alone right now. If you go into that jungle, they jump on the Shogo. They got the carry! MU shut down the Aphelios is gonna be up to RobbyBob. He's got no mana. Maybe Porsche can do this.
Auto?
Still has a ghost available. Takes
Porsche.
down Getback. RobbyBob's still alive. Finally should pull the Zyko. Flash the ball. He's still alive. Zyko's looking to chase. He doesn't get him. RobbyBob lives and Porsche carries the team fight.
What a hectic fight. Porsche saves UST, but we have to praise Zyko, who found Aphelios and actually opened up a winning angle here for Maryville, as that dredge line was huge on the Shogo.
Absolute massive performance from Porsche right there. Let's get another look at the initial engage. It looked good to start for MU.
See, this time around, ScaryJerry is able to pop that ult while Daption's going in, and it's a really nice scatter as well from Getback. But Porsche just runs rampant. It's still a great find from Shogo. That ult from OddOrange was so good into the dredge line from Zyko. That's the teamwork that MU's looking for to get back into this game, but still, no one deals with the Olaf, and he just keeps on auto-attack and running rampant, man. He even saves RobbyBob in the back half. Zyko thought he had him. He was a hero in that fight. Zyko was just not enough, as even Daption's like, oh my god, you live? No way, man.
What a fight. Game of inches right there. And MU were not able to walk out on top. They got a couple of shutdowns, though. Getting Shogo was big. But Porsche is unleashed right now. 5-1-4 on the Olaf. Daption was carrying early. Let's give him credit. But now it's the Porsche show.
Really big from Zyko, and a great find from OddOrange as well. That play was really all built off the back of him. It's just a follow-up from Zyko to weave that dredge line that was so good. But on the back half of that play, take a look at the map now. It is Dardoch soloing that dragon. I gotta say, Mountain Dragon, really valuable here for each of our teams. I favor this dragon the most when it comes to these singular dragon stat values that we have.
Interesting.
Yeah, there is some Void staff coming in early here for the Syndra, and Cleaver will help deal with the extra resistances that UST get, but still, it is a small win for UST as they deny that soul point and secure a nice dragon for themselves.
Also hovering RobbyBob yet again in this bottom lane.
I really like what Dardoch's doing in this mid game, because if you are going to make a play on the Porsche as the Pantheon, Porsche can press R and walk on out. RobbyBob cannot. So the fact that Dardoch continues to hover this Viktor, it does make it a little bit tougher for Niles to find places to go with these Grand Star pulls.
Niles is going to have to look to get onto the map. You're not going to win in this 1v1.
No.
Or maybe play into Porsche. The team is here.
This could work.
OddOrange and Zyko jumping over the wall. Ragnarok's available.
ScaryJerry
to pop it, but do they have the damage to actually kill him? They're trying to chase Porsche down.
They got him.
They should have it. Shut down and Niles.
Really well done by MU. And ScaryJerry, he didn't get the blast cut over, but he just preemptively flashes. And that's going to be enough.
I mean, it probably got them that kill. Yeah, you needed the extra damage. That's the only way to CC him.
Everything's available, though, for UST. MU has to be very careful and very particular about where they pick their turn. I want them to look onto RobbyBob. He's got no flash.
We've seen Shogo win this in a 3v5. Now he's got a 4v5 engage from Dardoch. Daption's in as well. Shogo's got the damage. Zyko's in trouble to start things off.
Getback.
Got him. Getback down as well. ScaryJerry's going to have to do massive work right now. Big for the recall, but Shogo's back in there. Niles doing damage in return. Shogo's in trouble. Flashes away, but a double kill to Niles. Scary's about to go down. Gets a pullback, and Niles is out of there. He's looking for Shogo. He's hunting for the kill and the carry, but RobbyBob is now chasing him down.
That was massive on the side of RobbyBob. Again, he had no flash. I really feel like MU had to pull the trigger onto them, but Dardoch, he starts the fight, opens up the space that RobbyBob needed to take over that fight, and his Viktor pick that he even said he's known for stepped up big in this one.
See another look. The Viktor and the Aphelios do so much damage in situations like this.
MU, they burned a lot of tools to go onto the Olaf. I think they just had to find RobbyBob somehow in that fight, to not have the ability to do so. And now as we look at live, look at the bottom left of your screen. Baron's been started up at the side of UST. Their carries were up, and that Baron is down.
A blitz onto the Baron.
Oh, man.
It's in the big purple worm. 5,000 gold lead. UST 2-1 in the series. On the precipice of getting back-to-back championship titles this time.
I mean, look at this
It cannot
map.
be a fluke. This isn't the semifinals they're taking down MU. This is the finals.
Look at this map. These turrets all going to be 550 gold. It's already 4.5k gold lead plus for UST. You got to imagine with this Baron, everything is going to be knocked down. So coming out of this Baron, you're going to have UST up 7k gold. You have Viktor scaling. Again, the only thing that I really feel like can stop him at this point, it has to be off the back of Getback on the Syndra, who was found immediately by RobbyBob and Dardoch in that last fight. He does have flash available, so again, all eyes for me really on Getback, but RobbyBob is level 16 this game, Kangas. Has 10 stacks of the Magi's, and nothing is going to be slowing down this Viktor.
MU are going to have to try and defend their base now with the Baron siege begun. UST walking up with the cannon minion here. They even have Porsche pushing in mid. Niles is going to make the play with Porsche.
I don't mind it.
Oh. Wants the movement speed to get away. They thought maybe they would get Porsche in a different position, I suppose. That's going to make this really awkward now. That's a big tool for them to actually get onto Shogo that they do not have.
I think maybe they're just trying to bleed out Porsche's R, but they decided to back off. But now, love Shogo's gun setup for this. He has green-white for the siege, so he can just consistently poke. As he already found one green gun onto the side of ScaryJerry, brought down to half, given how fed Shogo is now at that IE and more. And we'll see what UST can get. I mean, it's already 2 inners being knocked down. I would honestly like to see them take that 3rd inner on the top side.
Ooh, Dardoch
for this. Oh, God, Dardoch. That's all.
Jumping in on the Getback. OddOrange and Zyko in trouble as well. Getback might just go down. He got Dardoch. Now it's Porsche. Can Getback survive this? Porsche is deep in enemy territory.
Dead.
He's going to go down. CC immune for now, but he's claimed. That's 2 carries down. ScaryJerry survives for now. Chaos Storm thrown out from RobbyBob. Shogo will get the inhibitor. They trade down in kills, but they get the objective.
If Getback can maybe TP to that dragon, maybe they can get UST caught off guard with the numbers advantage, as Niles does have ult coming back up. That would be big for Maryville to at least give them that back door of Soul Point, not to mention the Soul Mountain Dragon. Somewhat valuable at this point. But Porsche going a little bit deep with Dardoch. It still ends up an inhibitor in favor of UST. But again, Maryville, they're at least staying alive, backs up against the wall, trying to get this to 5. I still think everything falls on Getback. It really just has to be what Maryville builds this comeback off of.
Teleport from Getback to try and get some tempo on the map right now. Shove in this wave, a teleport answer.
Oh, man.
From RobbyBob right now.
They don't want
Dragon's
dragon
up, so they're just going to sacrifice this.
That TP was not spotted, by the way.
Oh, Getback. Oh, no.
They're going to wait to scatter. Yeah.
Okay, Chaos Storm. A lot of damage. Is that enough? One more tick. He gets him.
Oh,
RobbyBob with a solo kill onto Getback.
RobbyBob, a man of few words, but letting his play do the talking is he's got the evolve.
He's gonna get solo kills twice. Daption now will join in. ScaryJerry in trouble, trying to get that damage onto RobbyBob, but he's got no defense. Zyko rolling away. Daption misses that one, but Robbie with a double kill.
RobbyBob, everyone's been talking about Shogo and his return with this UST roster, but RobbyBob's been bobbing on the Robs, man. He takes him down. Viktor the top side. Now everything is up for UST to take.
That might just be game. They have 29 seconds on ScaryJerry. How much can UST get done right now? The smack talk between these teams, between these orgs, built up all year. And UST in the finals. One more push could end it all. No, they're not going to go for it. MU are holding the line.
Yeah, they want to make sure they take down this dragon, I think. But UST could also reset as, man, heart was starting to race a little bit there. You know, UST big plays all around RobbyBob. He got this Viktor. Oh, okay, hold on, Daption. That's bold.
Okay, OddOrange is going to look for a pick here onto the Rakan. Jumps to the blast cone. He's over.
He's Rakan. It's fine. Oh, man. Of all the people, though, to step up in this final, it is RobbyBob again. Had that opportunity to play for Evil Geniuses along with Mobility, who's, you know, we saw on the desk earlier. RobbyBob showing what he learned, even on a champion that he was always known for in this Viktor. RobbyBob stepping up, man. It's so good to see. Again, a kid, he's a little soft-spoken, man, but he's letting his play do the talking as he's carrying the big stick with this Viktor and making sure that Maryville doesn't get the chance to even go to a game 5.
22 stacks in the book. A lot of Magic Pen, got the Rabadons completed. Yeah, he's been hitting the books. Yeah, that's for sure.
That's good. You gotta earn those degrees.
RobbyBob is the carry of this game. This finals deciding game. 9-2-7. UST just need to keep this Viktor alive, and he will walk them to that second title.
I like the fact you bring that up because it is no flash on Viktor and no stopwatch. So if there's any play that MU can make, it's gotta be to attack this Viktor. But again, that's where Shogo can get scary too if he's overlooked on this Aphelios. All summoner spells are up for the side of UST. This game stays in such a good spot for them. 2 Mountain Dragons as well, making it even more difficult for MU to do the damage needed to take them down. And with Baron spawning here in 20 seconds, you can see this minimap. It is all MU on this top side, just nothing available for the side of Maryville. They have this wee little ward. It's getting cleared out right now. Nothing for them.
UST controlling all of it except for that one up there in the river. could be a massive teleport ward for Getback, as that's coming off cooldown shortly, and it will spot if Baron's
big.
being taken.
That's a hero ward right there.
Yeah.
As really any chance that MU has to come off the back of that information. But
Not
Getback,
ready.
he's showing bot lane. They're just going to give this away.
Yeah.
That's going to be Baron going over to UST. They decided to put up the fight at their Nexus turrets. That will be where the last chances of Maryville live.
The tension is palpable in the audience. You're lucky that the seats were free, because you're only using the edge of them anyway. Right now, UST with the final push in. MU are going to have to defend at these Nexus turrets against Baron-empowered waves. And UST are on their victory lap right now. Daption throws out the Skrelias.
Yeah, they just want to rush this wave in, because Getback's not quite here. He is the wave clear. As a small root lands on the Daption again.
That's big.
Yeah, the scatters are where they have to look, but that poke being traded back. Oh boy.
Jumping on ScaryJerry. Big damage on the Getback. They haven't fully committed though. Daption throws out the quickness. Niles in trouble. They're going against Porsche. That's Porsche's ultimate down, and a flash from Niles means that he hasn't fallen yet. RobbyBob feeling confident to walk forward. All the cooldowns are down.
Watch
Still doesn't
ScaryJerry.
have the flash. OddOrange can look to flash engage on RobbyBob if there's follow-up.
I think UST burned enough ults and health.
There it is. On RobbyBob, but ScaryJerry can't get on him. Big recall. Dardoch's onto the carry. Niles ults behind. A teleport from Getback. The flank of the carries from Maryville. They're going to have to put in work right now as a double kill to Shogo. UST have Baron empowered minions right now. They're just going for the end.
It's all
Porsche is just holding the line, trying to keep back Maryville from their own Nexus. Is this how it's gonna end? They're onto the Nexus. RobbyBob and Shogo with the autos. Downers, silence, Lions roar. Back-to-back titles. UST are your 2023 Salo champions.
A series that didn't have much hectic play until we ended on a backdoor and UST. That game was looking like it was in their favor, but to end it in that style, that's one way to cap off back-to-back championships, as UST, carried by RobbyBob in Game 4, managed to hold the CLOL trophy once again.
A win in your first year of Flash in the Pan, back-to-back is legit. St. Thomas putting in the work, showing the grind. This wasn't a semifinals match that we pretend was the finals. This was the real deal. And they just 3-1 Maryville.
What a victory for UST, a team that, felt like they didn't come together until they really got here, but the level that these guys played at, that trophy's all theirs. They earned it.
These 5 players, 2 changes from last year's championship roster. Dardoch coming in. The action as they rightfully raise the trophy.
I talked to Shogo before the games today. He said, you know what? After all the trash talk, everything, all that matters to me is winning. He was able to back it up. And honestly, what a moment for some of the other players on UST as well. We hyped up Shogo and Dardoch so much coming in, rightfully so. But man, a couple of those game wins. Keep in mind, game 1, that Porsche Gragas was massive.
Yep.
Daption in that last game on the Rakan was everywhere, but also RobbyBob making his mark on the series with the Viktor. It didn't feel like it was individual performances that carried UST across the line. This was a team that came together when needed, and they took down Maryville's 5.
It was a baton pass for that 4th game. Daption said, I get fed early.
Yeah.
All right, Porsche, you take it now. And now we give it to RobbyBob. And the Viktor with the final autos on that Nexus.
It's ridiculous to think that 9 out of the 10 players in the series have played at the Challengers level, and UST, they're hoisting that collegiate trophy. They just took down a team that will be competing as one of the 10 teams in Challengers this upcoming year.
Yep.
And that is the level that collegiate has really grown into as more schools have built out their programs. And UST, going back-to-back in their first 2 years as a program, that's ridiculous. That's a feat that I don't know if it's going to be accomplished again in Collegiate League of Legends, but these guys, they managed to do it.
There's the guy! RobbyBob lifting the trophy! What a performance! As the crowd shows their support.
Head coach Alorum, too, coming in later in the split to help these guys. Love the experience that Alorum brings to the team. Someone that has gone through everything as a player, but also has a bit of a traditional sports background that he's been able to bring to coach these guys. And definitely one where, he feels like he's a 6th man on the team, just like another player, kind of advising people from a different POV. I always really value that from coaches. as gotta feel good for him to lift that trophy. Smiles around for UST.
Daption, of course, coming in as well. Oh, man. It's okay. It's a durable trophy.
You know what? They should go to C9 after this. I heard that C9 needs a challengers team. They just broke the trophy. I feel like they'd fit right in the building.
You know what? I remember that monologue at the beginning of the day. There's only one of those. That's okay. They have one at home, too. So now that's the second one.
I mean, I was hoping that they'd like party so hard afterwards they'd break it then. But I guess we'll just have it now as Shogo again. Got a feel for Shogo. The highest level of competition that he can play at. I know that there was a rule change where if UST decides to compete as a college in OQs, he can compete. So there's a rule against imports. I really want to see Shogo play at that level. This guy, the highest level he can play, has continued to prove himself. Back-to-back trophies himself. It was great to see.
Last year, the main character. This year, it felt more like a team effort. Everybody had an opportunity throughout that series to step up and be the carry from top lane to support. They all put in the work, 6 months of it, to get to this point on this stage and earn this win. You know it feels so much to those 5 players on stage, all the coaches, the school program. UST, this is dynasty building. That's 2 in a row. Can they do 3? Is now going to be the question on everyone's mind going into next year. But we're joining Digon and Shogo and Dardoch on stage for our first winners interview.
Thank you very much. I'm here with the back-to-back champs from UST, bot laner and jungler. It's Dardoch and Shogo. First to you, Shogo. You've been one of the key components of this year as well as last year. Please tell me, how's it feel to win back-to-back?
It feels great. My team all stepped up. This was I wouldn't say that it's an easy series, but it was pretty easy. Yeah, I owe it all to my team. They all stepped up super heavy. I didn't even need to do anything.
Dardoch, this was a battle between, obviously, you and OddOrange. You've known each other for a while, played against each other up in the amateur ranks. Tell me, what was this matchup like, again, against Maryville?
But it was pretty easy.
Thomas, well done.
I thought I had a very good understanding of what he could bring to the table. Sejuani, Wukong, Vi.
Be right after these guys, so
It was very easy to deal with.
With this win now, Shogo, you're off right back on over to Tel Aviv tomorrow. You gonna take the time to celebrate with the boys today?
Oh, of course. We're gonna celebrate this win. It was hard earned. We worked hard to get it, and we earned it.
Dardoch, captain of this squad, how would you encapsulate in a couple of words what this team meant to you?
Honestly speaking, I have a lot of gratitude towards my teammates just due to the fact that I came in kind of randomly and they were already a pre-existing group, but they kind of selflessly gave me the title of captain and listened to me every step of the way. And I think especially after we came to LA and started practicing for this specific top 4, I think everybody stepped up tremendously, and I just want to thank everybody.
There you go. All right, final question to you, Shogo. With you, RobbyBob, and Porsche, you now tie UBC back in 2015 and 2016 as the only back-to-back champions. What does that mean to you, being so dominant over the last 2 years?
I mean, winning is everything. When you talk so much on Twitter, you have to win. Otherwise, it doesn't look good. So I'm glad I could, back up my words and do well. And yeah, winning is just everything.
Is the schedule tweet up right now?
I don't know, 6 p.m.?
All right, I guess we'll see it over at 6 p.m. That's a little bit safe. All right, let's send it on over to Hawk, who's standing by with another USC member.
Thank you very much, Digon. I am joined by the victorious top laner of UST, Porsche. First of all, congratulations on your 2nd consecutive win. How are you feeling right now? What does this mean to you?
It means everything, We put our heart and souls into this season, and to get that result, back to back, I couldn't feel any better right now.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You deserve it 100%. And as Digon sort of talked about with them as well, you're one of the returning members with this core. How do you feel like the 3 of you and the team of University of St. Thomas as a whole has evolved over the last year to get to this point?
I think, the 3 core, we're good. We can adapt to like any type of player, We welcome them with open arms. There's definitely differences between, the 2 players we added this season and the ones we had last season, but I think we can win with any roster as long as we have that 3 core,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you all really proving that here today. I think getting rid of any doubts that you all can compete at the top. Game number 3, though. Olaf looking huge in some of these fights. Like, just you got to put on the carry pants in game 3. What was that like?
Change up pace. It's always fun to play a little carry. I don't know. Yeah, it's fun. I'm glad that my teammates trust me to play those champs, and I'm glad that we had a good result.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations again on your 2nd consecutive win in the LoL Championship, Porsche. Anyone you'd like to shout out? Anything else you'd like to say before we move on?
Big shout out to my family. They couldn't make it here in person, but I know they're screaming, supporting me with all they have at home. Shout out to my teammates. Shout out to my friends. And yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Porsche, for joining me. And we're going to be sending it on over for one more interview with Grapes, standing by with Daption and RobbyBob.
Thank you, Hawk. I am here, of course, with the 2 remaining players of the University of St. Thomas, RobbyBob and Daption. Daption, I got to start with you. What happened with that trophy, man?
Oh, that's the wrong one to start off with. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know there were 2 separate pieces, to be fair. So I held it up with one hand, and then it just flipped over. So my bad.
Hey, so next year, just remember, we got to lean back when you're picking it up. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
RobbyBob, 2nd consecutive LoL champion.
Let's go!
I mean, an incredible performance by you all weekend long. We saw, of course, some great Viktor games as per usual, but also moving things around. Had the Pantheon game against St. Louis and the Yasuo today. But what does it mean to you to be able to pilot so many different champions and have success in all of them?
Well, like for me, I've been key. People have always asked me like what my play style is, and I never really be able to describe that, right? Because I feel like I want to customize, I want to play what my team needs from me. And if I think Yasuo looks good here, and my team looks, I want to be able to play it, right? Obviously, you can't play every champion in the game, but I want to play as many champions that dictate that role of mid.
Did that, he did. And I'm receiving word that RobbyBob, you have been named Player of the Series. The Collegiate Finals.
Good job. You deserved it.
Second straight title. You got the most valuable player. How did that make you feel?
Well, to be honest, don't really feel like it's deserved. I feel like I got to shout out to my whole team, to be honest. Dardoch was playing crazy, the comms, Daption was playing crazy. Everybody was really, influential on the win, and I don't think we could have done it without a single one of them.
Yeah, I mean, that play up in the top side, just 1v9 in the game. Daption, you helped out a little bit as well, but
So just a little.
Daption, I want to come back to you for a little bit. Of course, after UST won their championship last year, you got recruited to join this team. Describe the process of coming into a team that's already won the championship and slotting in with the rest of the guys.
I think I said this previously, but for me, I was kind of cheating because I've been friends with Robbie and Porsche since the start. So it's not really I had to work towards cementing myself in the team. And then, Dardoch and Shogo are really easy to work with. So I honestly had no problem playing with them.
It looked incredibly seamless as you looked very, very good throughout this 3-1 victory. RobbyBob and Daption, thank you very much for joining us. You want to give any shout outs? We'll start with Robbie, then go over to Daption.
Definitely shout out my teammates, first of all, and I shout out Maryville as well. They're really great players, all of them. I've played with them a lot and played against them, and they're all really good and all really good people. So I feel like they got a shout out. And obviously my family, they're watching and supporting me, everybody involved. And I think, thank you so much.
Shout outs to all my teammates, Robbie, Porsche, Shogo, and Dardoch. They made this experience really nice. NovaBot and Alorum, probably the best staff that I could ask for. And thanks to my friends and family for supporting me, even though they're not here.
Some great words. Thank you very much to Robbie and Daption. And one more round of applause, one more congratulations to the University of St. Thomas. You're back-to-back LoL champions. But that's going to do it for us here on the Riot Game stage. We're going to send it back to Digon to close the show.
Oh, sorry. I was just showing Daption how you're supposed to do it. We got one more trophy still left to give away in the first ever Collegiate Valorant Grand Finals, which is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. You don't want to miss it. The two best teams in college Valorant going head to head. Again, for everyone here on the broadcast team, every single player that stepped on the Rift this year in college, thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting Collegiate Esports. And we'll see y'all tomorrow as we crown yet another college champion. See ya.
The two-time LoL champions on a mission for a record-setting third title from St. Louis, Missouri, Maryville University. And their opponents today, your defending LoL champions from Houston, Texas, it's UST. The LoL 2023 League of Legends Championship starts right now.
As OddOrange, though, he's looking. Here we go.
Engage on the Shogo. Flash and healer available. Flashed early. Everyone's diving onto the back line, and they got him. Shogo down, but the combo from RobbyBob.
Porsche is
takes
coming.
down one in answer. Porsche joins in. That's an AP Groggins goes boom.
Oh, let's see.
You got
he
two
turns.
flanks.
Yeah.
Niles and Getback are coming from awkward angles here. Daption might just be the sacrificial lamb. Getback's in the pit.
They burned it.
Looking for Shogo. They're going to go for him. They got him. Dardoch has secured the Baron. Lost his AD carry. OddOrange goes down. Getback goes down. Meanwhile, Zyko's getting hunted by the rest of UST. Niles might be the only one to get out of here.
I'm ghosting.
Cut.
That's just
Yep. No, I'm going now. I'm going now. I'm gonna die.
Nice, guys. Wukong can be there soon, but I'm trying to trail, so just play with that information.
Nice.
You're good, Jerry.
Yeah, damn. Right, I am.
That's right. Yeah. Yes.
MU have 5 members, though. They can just take the fight if they want to jump onto Dardoch. Niles taking a lot of damage right now, but Getback yet again! Claim Shogo! Double kill to ScaryJerry.
That's it.
And Getback yet again with these Annie engages.
Yeah, I can look.
Watch, not.
Wukong,
Yo, kill Wukong. Wukong died.
They got a reset.
I got not. Watch. No.
I can keep going.
Yeah, keep going. I can follow.
No flash.
Keep going.
I have flashy.
Go for this guy. Go for this rat!
And it's going to end the game. Robbie misses his last charge. All the Niles.
Niles is out. OddOrange and ScaryJerry don't have a hope. UST, they don't need that soul.
Wow.
They just needed the one Baron and a couple of picks, and they will go up 2-1 in this series. Hey, you're kind of alone right now. If you go into that jungle, they jump on the Shogo. They got the carry. MU shut down the Aphelios. It's going to be up to RobbyBob. He's got no mana. Maybe Porsche can do this.
Auto.
Still has a ghost available. Takes
Porsche.
down Getback. RobbyBob's still alive. Finally should pull the Zyko. Flash the ball. He's still alive. Zyko's looking to chase. He doesn't get him. Is this how it's going to end? They're on to the Nexus. RobbyBob and Shogo with the auto